What's up, guys? This is Cameron with Gravel Boss. I'm just setting up my screen share here. Today we're going to talk about hauling snow from one location to another. Why should I be talking about this? Because I haul a crap load of snow. We have completed probably a couple hundred snow hauls by now, most of which are with multiple trucks. Sometimes multiple loaders, and we haul a ton of snow here in Alaska. Every winter, almost every parking lot that's big in town gets hauled, just the way it is. You southern boys, meaning anywhere south of Alaska, have it nice sometimes, not having to haul snow all the time, because yours melts and ours does not. But I digress. We're just going to get a quick overview. Some of this is going to seem really basic. Bidding snow hauls is easy. There's two different ways to go about it. I'm just going to cover everything. You may not learn anything from this. We may not, you're going to do it your own way, but I am just here to provide the information that I have learned in my 13-year snow career. So the first thing that almost everyone does up here is they'll just flat out say it's time and materials, loader at whatever amount per hour, dump trucks at whatever amount per hour, dump fee at whatever amount per hour. The reason for that is because no one knows how to bid a pile of snow. It's not like dirt because there's a massive amount of expansion, frequently up to like 30-40%. And kind of, you have to know what the weather pattern has been recently. Like if it's been super warm, then you're going to have more expansion when you break into the pile because your pile has consolidated substantially. So a lot of people flat out just say, well, this might be in the range of $10,000 to $20,000. We're going to haul it and we're going to bill you T&M after that. I'm not too huge of a fan of that. I feel like the customer might feel like they're screwed a little bit because snow hauls get really expensive extremely fast. Another thing you can do is if your customer is on a budget, you can say, we will haul until we hit X price cap. We will haul until we hit a $10,000 price cap. We will haul until we hit $5,000 price cap, or whatever. I've seen a few posts on Facebook about needing to haul immediately after the storm. Frequently, it's within 24 hours, and we see that up here commonly as well. And it's not a cheap thing to do, and it should be the most profitable project that you have in your entire snow season. If you're hauling snow, there's a lot of risk involved. You're running dump trucks on the road, especially if you're doing within a 24-hour window. You have dump trucks on the road doing the crappiest condition that dump trucks could be in. And most dump truck guys frequently will plow snow as well. So they're just going to be whooped, wore out, and maybe not even be able to find them within 24 hours, right? You're not going to get a dump truck to show up to haul 3 loads of snow at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's just not the way that the world works. So what I would do is follow this schedule. I'll hit it just for general snow hauls and then the 24-hour snow hauls as well. But we'll start with how do you calculate the actual snow bid itself if you are trying to give a flat rate bid. Okay. So someone calls you, show up to the parking lot, and they say, we want this pile of snow gone. If you know anything about dirt, if you know how to measure dirt, you'll just measure your snow pile, which is length in feet times width in feet times depth, height in inches. So if you're 10 feet tall, it's 120 inches, right? So let's, for the sake of simple math, length times width times depth, and then you take that entire number and you divide by 327, and that gives you your yardage. That's your cubic yards. Next thing you need to know is the average size of the dump box that you're hiring. And this is full to capacity, not the legal weight that they can carry. A lot of dump trucks are like, we're a 10-yard truck, we're a 12-yard truck. But really, the capacity of their box is going to be somewhere in the 15, 16 yard range commonly. The new Kenworth T880s are like a 22-yard box. With snow, because it's extremely light, frequently you can load up the entire box and then you have it piled up on top. I'll see if I can find some pictures of how we load trucks around here, but it's stuffed to the brim every single corner and as much as you can stick on top. But for the sake of math, we're going to pretend that each load carries 15 yards. Let's see if I write this out. It doesn't really matter because you have the video. So we know how to calculate our yards. And let's say, for the sake of conversation, this pile turns out to be 1,000 yards, right? 1,000 yards of snow in the pile as it sits. Each truck can carry 15 yards. Now, your snow is going to have anywhere from 30 to 50% expansion. I usually calculate 40, but for the easy math here, I'm just going to say 50% expansion. And that's when you start digging into the pile, you only have 1,000 yards there, but it turns into 1,500 yards because by the time you dig it out, it's expanded. It's got air in it now. You've broken up the ice. It's all loose. It's chunks. It grows, right? So we have 50% expansion, which brings us to a total of 1,500 yards, which correlates to, and remember, this is a hypothetical situation, 100 loads of snow. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find a snow dump site, and most places do not accept snow. So you'll have to ask around to other contractors, where do you dump your snow at? In our municipality of Anchorage, it has to be a lined pit. There are snow dumps that's all they do is they dump snow there. Whether it's like that down in the States, I'm not too familiar. I'm not going to try to get into it too much, right? I know that there's places you can dump snow in every state that it snows because somebody's hauling off all the time. So then you just simply pull up Google Maps and you type in your two different addresses and you pull your time to drive there. So we have 9 minutes, and we're going to double that obviously because you're driving there and back. So you have 9, so we have, which comes out to 18 minutes. Always round that up. Let's round that up to 20 minutes. Just because traffic lights, maybe you're hauling during the day, whatever it is, right? So we have 20 minutes of drive time. I'm writing this down more for my own sake than yours, in case you're watching this. Digging into snow piles is kind of a total pain in the butt with a loader. So you're not going to load a truck in a minute or 2 minutes the way you can if you're loading out gravel in a pit. So we're gonna schedule 7 minutes to load. And then we're also going to schedule 7 minutes to dump. The reason for this is frequently you will need to re-antifreeze your box. You get snow stuck, you need to shovel it out. The truck gets stuck, you have to wait in line, whatever it is. Let's say 7 minutes to dump. Now, the one caveat to this is if you're familiar with the snow dump, it gets very busy on snow days and you know that you frequently are waiting 20, 30, 40 minutes. In that case, factor some of that in, at least to some degree, right? So we have a total of 14 minutes to load and unload, and we have 20 minutes of drive time, which that brings us to 34 minutes per load, right? We have 100 loads, so we have 3,400 minutes. And let's, for the sake of conversation, say that we're running 2 trucks. Which is 3,400 minutes divided by 2 is 1,700 minutes per truck. Okay, so we'll pull up our calculator. 1,700 minutes per truck divided by 60. 28. Okay, let's bump this up just so that we can actually complete this job in a day. And say that we're going to run 5 trucks. So 3,400 minutes divided by 5 is 680, which is, what's that, 11.2 hours? $680 divided by 60, 11.3 hours. Should have done this. Okay. We have 56. Sorry, normally I'm just doing this in my head and not trying to explain it. We have 56 and a half, so we'll round that up to 57 truck hours. And if we're running 5 trucks, we are going to pretend that we're running 1 loader, 5 trucks, 1 loader. So the loader would only count for, you're gonna want that loader there before the trucks get there to start breaking into the pile, and then the loader's gonna stay and clean up, drive time back, whatever. I think we were at 11.3. Let's write the loader down for 12 hours. Because the loader has more time. Sometimes you might even go up to like 13 hours. I might on this job, but let's just, for the sake of this, stay with 12 hours for the loader. Okay. Okay. So our dump trucks. Let's pretend you don't own dump trucks. Cost 135 an hour. Your loader is 175 an hour. And your dump fee is $30 per load. It's as simple as this. We take 57 hours in the dump truck at 135. So that brings us to 76.95. 12 hours in the loader. 2,100. The dump fee, let's see, what was it? Yeah, 100 loads. Oh, that's 3,000. Duh. Now, normally in this situation, before you do these calculations, you're going, if you don't own most of this, you have to upcharge the dump fee and the dump trucks. I don't want to get into some argument about should you broker loads or not. No one cares about your opinion. If you had an opinion worth listening to, you wouldn't be watching this video. I upcharge dump trucks $10 an hour, sometimes 15 an hour. And then the dump fee, I add $10 per load. Okay. Your math is exactly the same. You just base whatever your costs are and input into this formulation. I'm not saying you should charge 135 for dump trucks. I'm not saying you should charge 175 for the loader, and I'm not saying that your dump fee is going to be $30. I'm just giving you a visual representation of how you can do this math yourself. I almost always add $10 a load for the dump fee. Add $10 an hour onto the truck, and then the loader is just whatever I charge for the loader. If I'm hiring out the loader, then I would also add $10 an hour onto that when I factor in my bid. So you'd add all this up, pretending that these are the numbers that we want to run off of. And that comes out to $12,795. Yep. And that's your bid. Now, is that worth doing? That's up to you. A lot of things to consider. You can add a lot of margin What I do a lot of times with snow hauls, especially when they're small, is I'll say this snow haul is not going to be more than $5,000. And we're gonna base it off of this pricing. I shoot way high. If I think the snow haul is gonna be $3,000, then I'll say it's not gonna be more than 5, and I'm covered for if I go over and if I mess up, right? But they know they're not getting a bill for more than 5, they can budget for it. They love it when you say it's not gonna be more than 5. In their mind, they're thinking 5, maybe 4,500. And you send them a bill for 3,500, they're like, oh my gosh, you're amazing, you're wonderful, we're gonna hire you again forever. If you say it's not gonna be more than 5, but you ran your numbers really tight and you're like 4,900, they're like, yeah, that was about right. That's kind of what we were expecting. They're still happy with it. You offered good customer service. You were there on time. It's all good things. But I like to kind of shoot for the moon a little bit and cover myself, mostly because hauling snow is not an exact science the way that dirt frequently is. What are the things should you know? What are the things should you know? If you don't have a steady supply of trucks, so we have 57 truck hours, which we split into one long day for 5 trucks. Well, what if only 4 of those trucks show up? Well, now you're running all your trucks for 14 hours, and frequently they might come back. And you'll have more loader hours, right? So that's something to consider, is use realistic numbers. And also something we were going to talk about was if you're doing on a 24-hour, you have to haul within 24 hours of plowing, which is getting very common. You need to have a 4-hour minimum for your loader, and you need to have a 4-hour minimum for your dump trucks. The reason for this is, and this is more dealing with trucks in general, this isn't just snow hauls, but especially in the winter, dump trucks aren't going to fire up their truck to come haul 2 loads. And if they do, they're going to want a minimum, and it is what it is. It's just the way the world works. I always pay all my trucks a 2-hour minimum, 4-hour minimum, whatever it takes to get them to come out, and that's fine. I let them know in advance, hey, we're paying 4 hours no matter what. We're shooting for this to be a 6-hour job. This is going to be a 3-day job, whatever it is. Same thing. Your time is very valuable. Don't go haul snow for $50 an hour. It's not worth it. It's not. I don't care if you have a tractor and a dump trailer. I still run around with my dump trailer and skid steer and make $250, $300 an hour because it's snow. It just is what it is. That's just me. You don't have to listen to me. In this world, this is about where you're going to be at. If you're ever going to bid 24-hour hauls, you need to make contact with a lot of people beforehand. And if you don't own a loader, contact somebody with a loader, see if they'll come out, figure out what they want money-wise. If you don't own dump trucks, find somebody with a dump truck that wants to work every snowfall, make it very clear ahead of time so that you're not scrambling at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to find a dump truck to come haul your snow. And then find a snow dump. A lot of times people get nervous. I see a lot of people bidding snow and they get real nervous because they're like, man, I have to haul snow all the way across town. It's like 30 minutes. We do that all the time. Hour rounds, hour and a half rounds. It's just the way that it is because there's not a snow dump anywhere near where we're hauling from. It's not your fault. And you're always hauling for commercial lots. And with the exception of them hauling, like it's a brand new commercial lot who happens to be owned by an idiot, this is an item that they expect to pay for. And don't be scared to throw out big numbers because they're probably used to seeing it. That's all I'm going to go into. If you guys have more questions, it's really difficult. It's really not difficult. If you have any questions, obviously throw them in the comments. And but meanwhile, I have bids to go do, so I'm gonna go do that. You guys have a good one. Have a safe season, and we'll catch you on the next one. And if you guys have any videos that you want me to cover, by all means, let me know.